consumers understand how their food choices impact their health by making the connection to agriculture. Learning about how food is grown and produced, and how consumers can make better food choices for themselves and their families, Path to the Plate is all about dispelling myths and misconceptions. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. It is Tuesday. What a Tuesday. What a weekend. This has been amazing. Now, I know that, Richard, you're not really into all the war mongering going on and all that stuff that's been happening. But you have to admit, that was an amazing accomplishment.
I don't even know if I call it an accomplishment.
What do you mean? Why wouldn't you call it an accomplishment?
I don't know. It just happened so fast. It's like, did it even really happen?
Yes, and the stealth part of it, and the strategy.
Yeah,
and sending off B bombers going one way, and they're decoys, and they go to the site, and they shoot it.
I mean, I don't know.
Richard, we really went to the moon. You know that, right?
So they say.
Oh, we were going through NASA.
They say. No. What I love about that whole Iran thing, it was like, it's weird that I'm getting updates about this from a social media site that the president's tweeting on.
Really?
Yeah, because usually they have like a news briefing, and then it's like, Walter Cronkite comes on and it's like, oh, today the United States,
right?
But then now it's just like, oh, we just got a tweet from Trump while he's on the toilet.
Right.
We did it. It's like, okay, cool.
Is there an echo in the room, or where are you? That would be funny.
But again, that's why I was kind of like, that's why it's surreal to me. I'm like, I don't really care because, I mean,
well, you got to care because
because it could just happen tomorrow again.
They may have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get that mail. So, is your phone going
off? Is somebody?
Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay, bye.
Get off.
How could that?
Are you done with that?
No, why does it keep going? That was weird. That was so weird. We're still live, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's looking at mail, and I'm trying to get my phone to shut up, so we don't have to deal with that. But it was Verizon calling me for some reason. And I just paid $352 to them for the phones, so they should be okay and happy. Boy, bills. I was so happy with Sam taking care of the bills. But,
I just got a bill for the station.
You did? Right now? For what?
Yeah. No, this is like an ongoing problem I've been having with our property taxes here.
Ugh.
And it's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. And
well, if you get a letter that says you are delinquent in your property tax is,
Yeah.
and
This
we
is
can
for the
take care of
studio.
them.
This is for the well, no, what it is, and I found it interesting because I talked to the person who handles the stuff for the studio, and this is like the 4th year they did it again. Even though she's called the tax assessor and is like checking in, like they don't owe anything, because we're a nonprofit and we're in a city building, so it's like, what do we owe as a nonprofit?
Right.
And it's nothing, and so like we're exempt.
Ah.
But for some reason, when we moved over here, it just confused their data. And so every time we check with them, we're good. But somehow I still get these.
But you still get.
I get this mail, and I'm like, and I'm immediately going to take a picture of this. I was like, do we just need to pay this?
Are they saying
it's not a lot of money.
How much is it?
Now it's like $300. But I keep telling them, I'm like, y'all say we don't owe anything. We have receipts. We'll keep sending this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate getting mail like that. I hate getting mail that says, like, oh, you're behind. I'm like, no, I'm not. You told me I'm not.
Right.
And then, but whatever.
And try and call those automated things, and you know that.
Well, I already know what I'm doing now because this is an attorney now. And I'm going to walk over there because it's down. It's by,
it's down here?
It's by here. And I'm going to go in there and be like, yo, dude, let's figure this out because I'm tired of getting these threatening letters. And when we call them, we don't owe anything. So
Right.
I'm trying to figure out if it's an online thing or it's one of those funny things that you have to deal with. And
Well, they cut off my water one time because I thought they had my card and it was auto pay. And so Samuel says, "Hey, water's not working." I said, "Of course." And then I called the company, and they said, "Okay, we have your account by your phone number, and you're past due, and that's why your water was cut off." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, and I thought y'all were going to take it out." No, she said, "No, we have, because that varies. So we're going to have you pay it whenever you get the bill. Just pay whatever the bill is." And I went, "Okay." And they turned the water back on within, like 15 minutes. The water came back on, but that was so embarrassing. And I thought, why are you embarrassed? This is, it's not because you just didn't pay it because you went and bought, a new outfit or something. And so, anyway, but I hate that because I can't remember every month. I keep thinking, now, are they auto pay or do I have to open up a bill and pay what they say?
Yeah, no, it's
I don't know how to. I'm so bad at that. My sister's going to be down here in July, the CPA, and she's going to get me set up, and she's going to take away my power of attorney. And
here's a cue.
What?
Not cue. Coup. There's a coup happening on Cindy. No, I see. Like what I do for my bills is I have a specific credit card,
one card, yeah.
and then all my bills go on it, just my bills.
Yeah.
And that way I know it's paid, and then I have one place to look at all my bills. And
See,
I know if
that's
it's
smart.
paid, and it's all right there, and I know that card is the only downside to that method is if you lose your card, you have to redo everything, and you have to remember everything.
Oh, Lord. I know. You're
but
right.
then again,
It's
I'd rather
horrible.
have that inconvenience than track everything.
Or if your card looks at something that is charged and they don't believe it's right,
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
close your card, close it down until you get back to them. And I don't look at my text all the time, and especially from a bank and stuff. And so when I look at it and go like, you need to call immediately. So if you want your card back online, or we're gonna have to shut it down, and you have to get a new one. And then they want they ask for the password, and I can't ever remember a password for nothing. Why can't I use the same password for everything? Why is that
know.
not right?
But yeah.
I wish they could put, if
I
they
mean,
could implant
there's
it.
probably services from AARP for you.
If they could just implant something in my hand, I could.
But it's
go like-
also people do that. I mean, the same thing happens with my parents. Is they just buy too much stuff. They're just doing too much, And it's like you're never going to keep track of everything if you just keep getting different subscription services, not canceling, not like it's going to be a problem.
Oh,
And that's one thing I like about what I do is you kind of know every month what you're going to pay because it's all in one statement.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that goes up, you're like, all right, something happened. What happened?
Wow.
And then you can look at it and be like, oh, they're charging me an extra $100 for my phone bill. Why is that? And then,
well, a lot of those things are so variable, and they
they
they're
go
going
up
to,
like TV and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, and how much you use it and how much you don't use it and that kind of thing. So I got a credit, and I didn't believe the credit that they were giving me for the phone use, and so I said, well, I'm trying to tell this automated person, listen, I just got a letter, and I owe more than what you're telling me the balance is.
Yeah.
She said, okay, are you ready to pay? And she keeps saying, I can understand most everything that you ask me to do. I understand it. You cannot either. So anyway, I didn't mean to get off from the other thing we were talking
We're
about.
talking about real problems, not Iran.
Yeah, Iran is that's a bad, boy.
Well,
did he said,
well,
did
no,
you see today?
What's funny to me about that whole thing is it's just kind of like a never-ending cycle, and that's why I don't really care. Because like, what's going to happen if I had to guess? Within like 10 years, there's going to be some terrorist attack,
right,
here in the United States. Unfortunately, knock on wood, I hope it doesn't happen. But somehow it's going to get tied back to Iran because everything always gets tied back to something or something or something, and it's like, okay, like it's kind of weird.
Well, and since the other administration had let in like 700 and something people from Iran into
I don't know. I mean,
and they dumped them in the USA. That's what. So and no vetting.
Now we can just deport people.
Now let's just.
I think I was reading that the other day. The Supreme Court allows deportation to non-citizens to their non-born country.
Yeah, they can.
Now you can.
They
just
don't have to go back
now
to
you
their
can just
home.
send people to North Korea.
Well, they said if your home won't accept you, it's okay for you to take them somewhere else and drop them off.
And that's funny to me. Can you imagine working that logistics?
But they must be making money off of when they take them to someplace.
Maybe I don't know.
The country would be making money.
Again, it's the inner workings of that is always fascinating to me.
Yeah, like it's unbelievable, but it was just so. Every time I go back to Fox, something else had happened. It was so fast. Things were moving so fast, and so this morning, when he gave him 12 hours before the ceasefire was going to start, and so Iran sent one missile. I think it was like one missile over to Jerusalem, and that just set Israel off. And they went and made all these bombs, and Trump called them and said, "You turn those planes around because, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're messing everything up." And he was all upset. And these reporters, when he came out of the White House, he looked like he had just had all night. And he was just so mad. He was furious, and so these reporters kept peppering him with different things. And he finally said, "Look, I'm not happy with Israel. I'm not happy with Iran, and but they're gonna work together. That's all I'm telling you. And listen, and if they don't, I'll tell you. They fought so long. They fought for so long that they just don't know what the F they're doing." And he said the F word. He was so mad. He said, "Now, do you understand that?" And so he left and got on the plane. But he was so mad. I never heard him say a bad word. So it was very disturbing to hear. But you could tell he had had it with everybody. And so when he got off the plane, after he's gone to a meeting with a NATO meeting. And so when he got off the plane, after talking to the reporters and all that again, he was smiling and really happy. And so somebody said something, and the funny thing was when Putin called him and he said, "Listen, do you need help? I can help you with maybe brokering something and talking to somebody." He said, you know what? That's not your problem. Your problem is you. I'm having a problem with you, and you got to get yourself straight before you can straighten anybody else out. And so it's just been hilarious to listen to all the stuff that's going on, because it's moving so fast, and so many things are historical that haven't ever happened before, and so people are trying to catch up with it. Now, all the reporters on NBC, MSNBC, all that, they don't believe that it even happened. They said, who knows if the bomb went down there and destroyed it.
I don't know. I don't care that. I don't really.
Yeah. But
I mean, now that they're not live streaming the bomb drop, I don't really care.
I'm surprised they didn't have cameras on the bomb so that as it goes in, it shows you.
But then again,
what's
I
happening.
doubt that too, because people doubt the moon landing. So.
I can't believe you said. I know you don't doubt the moon landing.
But the problem with that kind of stuff, it doesn't affect me in any way. So like, if we got on the moon or not, like, what is it? Like, it's during the time, yeah, it affected a lot of people. But like, in my generation is just like, it doesn't.
Well, it's been so long ago, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't really affect us.
Right.
But again, there's so many residual effects that these decisions are made by our leaders. Again, like, that's my projection is like 10 years, something's bad's going to happen, and somehow it's going to tie back to this.
Yeah.
And somehow, like, it's just going to be one of those things, like, what ifs, what's really going on? Like, no one knows what really is going on. I mean.
Well, we see so much of it, and they have so many reporters in these places that it's all being, videotape. It's all being streamed back to the the network.
I don't know.
Real time. So, I mean, they can't.
I don't know.
They can't.
Again, it doesn't
say that. But then the before and after pictures are pretty good.
I guess Google Earth.
Google Earth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's got to be something better to talk about that we know more about.
Well, I mean, just so that it's just something that is realistic and happening. And
I guess.
I saw a policeman over at Paulette's. I went over there and got a salad.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, my goodness. And their dressing is amazing. And so
let me ask you this then. What makes a good salad besides freshness?
Well,
I always like that.
This is problem, though. This is like, it's a spring mix.
Yeah.
And a spring mix, they have, I mean, you feel like you've gone into the garden and you're just chewing up it like a rabbit would. Yeah. And it's just.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, because it's hard to eat it, and the stem is sticking out. You're trying to shove it into your mouth, and the stem is all.
It's not like I'm sitting here staring at you while you're eating that disgusting salad.
Well, I mean, I don't care if you stare at me. You can stare at me. I know you do. You make fun of me.
Yeah, I've gotten to. I love it.
You love
making
fun of me.
This weekend we're eating with buddies, and I love getting into their head where like we're sitting there. I'm like, man, the way you eat that chicken wing, my God. And they're just like, what did I do? I'm like, I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole this weekend with you, but
because that sounded kind of weird and strange that you would even notice how he was eating the chicken wing.
Yeah. Well, then what I love is he's like, well, how do you eat it? And I just show him the most disgusting way possible. I'm just like, slam it, chew it off, like you can slam down the meat.
Yeah.
And then
and you just pull out the bones?
He thought I was criticizing the way he was eating, and I was kind of leading him on to get him to go, how do you eat? I'm like, I eat like a caveman.
Like cave. You like to go to those festivals and get the turkey leg, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And
I'll eat
eat that.
They're good.
No, they are. Funnel cakes and the turkey leg. Eat the turkey leg first, get all the protein, and then eat the funnel cake. I think that's a perfect.
And your spring mix.
No, but it's so good. The dressing is what's so good. Makes it. It's
that's what I was asking.
Delicious.
I wasn't trying to challenge Paulette's. I mean, all their food is very fresh and very French.
Yes, very French.
Very French.
Yeah. So, and they don't care how you eat it.
Yeah.
They're French. It's okay. But she is so cute, and so I'm gonna try and get her on the show. She wants to be on the show.
It's a great little place.
Yeah, but the problem is that they were busy. Yeah. Busy. So I don't know.
They're also a bakery too.
Yeah,
So-
and you know what? They use Nutella out the wazoo because they're putting Nutella in beignets
Yeah.
and all that.
They make a strawberry one that's really good. It's on rare occasions they have it.
Well,
Because I'm not a Nutella fan.
I thought the beignet was the big one was just it was just the pastry, and so I ordered it and I took a bite of it and all this chocolate comes oozing
Yeah,
out and I'm going
no.
like, oh yeah, yay, and it was great.
And-
Let me tell you what I did in New Orleans. You're gonna love this.
When'd you go to New Orleans?
I was
50 years ago?
18, 19.
Oh.
That's probably had
Okay.
to be over 50 years ago. But I went to New Orleans with my friend, and I said, "Listen, what we have to get is we have to eat the bidets because the bidets are so good." I
Yeah.
had some over and told her where I had them. So I walked in the bar, and they're open. You know, they're open. Everybody's passing by and coming through and all that. And I said, "Hey, do y'all serve bidets?" And they went,
Bidets. I like it.
and they go, "Do we serve what?" And they said, "But I said bidets." And they said, "Okay, come in here. All right, say that again. You want to know if we serve bidets? Are you talking about do we clean them up or what are you talking about? Service them or what are you asking for?" And I said, "The bidets that you're famous for, the bidets." He said, "Excuse me, but are you actually trying to say beignet?" And I went, "Yes, that sounds a whole lot more." Yeah. He says, "Do you know what a bidet is?" And I went, "No." And they described it to me, and everybody was laughing. They thought this was so funny that, like, what an idiot I was. And so I'll never forget that. And so when you go into a house, when you're looking at houses, and they have one of those things there, that just triggers that whole horrible event in my life when they made fun of me. And I thought, I will never get that mixed up again. And so have you ever used a bidet? Have you ever used one?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you use it?
The friends' houses?
They had them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you run around with the rich people, right? Yeah. That's the only way you have. So you have a toilet and you have the bidet.
Yeah.
It's
I think it's great.
it
I
is.
think, well, it's just funny. It's just the whole concept of bathroom stuff is fascinating to me.
You know, see, now I hate saying that. I love bathroom humor. I think it's just
Yeah.
funny, and so that's why I told you whenever I went to Dallas and we went into the Believe It or Not thing, and you go in the bathroom and you're hearing those sounds, flatulent sounds,
Yeah.
and so it's hilarious. It's like that was so smart because you're thinking it's people in the stalls, but it's not there. It's coming out of the speaker. And so you walk in there, and you're just like it, and you can't sit. I mean, you can't even sit there without laughing and go like, "This is crazy." So, anyway, but I think it's funny. I think anything, as soon as the internet came on and you could dial whatever you want to hear or what you want to ever, you can dial anything, you can find anything, and so you want to hear those sounds, and we sit there in our living room and the kids and we just laugh about all the sounds that it made. It's just, we needed more to do, I think, probably, and needed
Anything for a good laugh.
yeah, anything for a good laugh. Yes. So, no, anyway, all right. So I had wondered if you would like, because we never did finish our topic whenever Andrew was here,
Okay.
when we were talking about lying. And he started going off in some stuff. And Andrew, if you're listening, you do a lot of research and you're amazing. But you were going off into, there's so many different types of lies.
Yeah.
But a lie just means it's not the truth. And so when your girlfriend or your significant other says to you, "Does this dress make me look fat?" And you know that you don't have much time to change and have her go change because it does. And what do you say to her? Do you lie or do you say, "No, you look great. It looks good. Let's go. We got to go. We got to go." Is that how you decide that's okay to say it, to lie to her?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care.
Does anybody care out there?
No, the relationships I've been in, I've always been honest, and usually the first thing that comes to mind isn't no. It doesn't make you look fat, because most of the time it doesn't. So
You just
I just say no, it doesn't at all,
Okay.
and then there you go. And that's usually I'm not lying.
Because to you, you're saying
And if it did, I'd be like, it makes you look fat.
okay. Yeah, because you love to tell me, like, you should never wear that again. That's
yeah,
horrible.
like one of my exes, she liked to wear high heels, and I hated it. And I don't know why. I was just kind of like, high heels to me.
But she was so short.
Well, one of them was, yeah. But it was just like, I don't want to. You're overcompensating. You look ridiculous. Because there's heels and then there's like high heels.
Okay.
And I'm just like
stilettos.
I was like, those shoes probably weigh more than your like lower body here. Like this is getting kind of weird. But then again, if you like them, whatever. That's what I always said. Like if you like wearing them, do it. Like no, don't. Because you get in that conundrum with, especially with significant others. Because I remember when I told this one of them was like, I really liked your hair short. And the greatest thing about the mind is whenever she wanted to be mad at me, she'd bring up that you probably don't even like me because my hair's not short. And I was like, if that's how you want to take it, you can beat yourself up all day with that one. I'm like, I don't.
So you had seen her with short hair.
Yeah.
And then y'all were still going out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she let it grow out. And then you said, I like your hair better short.
I just thought she looked really cute with it.
Okay.
But
Well-
but I mean, again, it's like I told her, I was like, but if you want to try something different, go for it. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't like it, go. I mean, you don't have to cut your hair short because I demand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because she would always get on me if my hair grew too long,
Yeah.
and I'm like, deal with it. So
Yeah,
it's just
you need to get your hair cut. Because the cutest you looked was whenever you looked like Justin Bieber. You had that cut.
That's great. That's
had
someone
that
who I want
haircut.
to look like.
When we first started working together over there, you had a short hair, but you had all bangs, and all swept
Yeah,
over like
I know.
Justin Bieber. So cute. And then you decided to let your hair grow longer and longer and longer. And was it after your divorce that you let it grow real long, or
No, I had long hair before that.
you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And I like. Well, really, what it is, I like getting a haircut once a year.
once a year.
Yeah.
And where do you go? Go ahead
My
and
friend
advertise them. What?
Bloomy Maud, Ashlyn.
Yeah.
She does color now. She doesn't really do haircuts.
Oh, she doesn't.
No, she focuses more on color.
Oh,
And like
okay.
fancy stuff with girls' hair. We're just good friends, and I'm friends with her husband, and I just like seeing them and seeing the
Yes.
family, and
They're so
it's
cute.
just kind of like a little outing.
Yeah. And do you walk down there and well, because Conroe has
Well,
they
she,
have hair salons.
well, she does
and
it out
they
of her house now because she used to
Oh.
co-own Switch Hair
Yeah.
Studio.
Okay, so
But
that's
now-
closed.
No, that's not closed. They're still
Oh.
doing girls and guys haircuts
Okay.
there. But Ashlyn was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
She's
So you
been
go
my
to her
fr-
house
Yeah,
and she cuts your hair.
they did a great job with the garage, and I like it because I just get to hang out at her house, and
Oh, so she has other customers come in and she redid the garage.
oh yeah, it's like completely looks like a salon when you walk in. It's nice.
That's awesome. I always wanted to buy one of those, when you wash your hair.
You can dry it.
No, when you wash your hair and you put, it has a seat on it and you can put your head back and stuff.
How would you do that by yourself?
Well, that was the thing I had a problem with.
Yeah.
I-
That would be if I walked in and saw that, I'd be like, this is interesting. It's like, well, what's doing? We wash each other's hair. It's great.
No, I get Cindy to do it. My
Because that's one of those things. I remember growing up, my mom would cut our hair.
yeah.
She cut everybody's hair, and like at one point it just stopped. And because she's like, I'm not a hairstylist. I was just cutting because she had 4 boys, and it's just
Right.
like boys didn't care what they looked like. You just kind of cut everything short around the ears, and then you're good. And
No, I tell you, the style where all the guys are wearing heavy bangs and
I guess.
they're curly and
yeah,
that's the look. I couldn't stand that look. It was horrible. And
Yeah.
Samuel did it like forever, and then finally we showed him how good he looked with his hair pulled back, and then he would finally say, okay, so he pulls his hair back. But he lets all this grow, and it's so long now. And I mean, if they ever needed a double for Jesus in a movie, I would send him there.
I get that.
'Cause
When my hair gets really long, I think the longest I ever had was past my shoulders.
Past your shoulders?
Yeah, I think it was about like halfway down.
Did you wear it in a ponytail?
No, I never did the ponytail thing.
You never did?
No.
Or the man
Man
bun?
No, I
Yeah.
never did that.
Oh, good. Those are gross to me.
But then again, I just wanted to do it just
Yeah.
because I've never done it. And now it's just once a year. I just go. I
Well-
was thinking of actually going this summer and like August going to see her.
And so that your hair will have grown out some whenever.
I don't know.
People
That's the
come
time I
back.
want to go do it. There's no mystery to it. It's just like I'm just gonna get a haircut. And with her, I try to give her as much time as possible because
Yeah.
it's not like, hey, I need to do it like today.
Well, it must be hard for. It's like maybe probably a bartender, but someone who cuts hair and does hair. That when they finish, the person, if they say, "That's horrible. What did you do to my hair? What's wrong with you? What happened?" Do they get complaints? How they handle complaints, or if they know this not going to look good on her and she's going to be hard, she's not going to like it and all that. How they handle that? Because
Well, I mean,
first thing,
hers is so specific. From what I understand, part of the reason she moved out of Switch was she just wanted her core clientele
yeah,
because she didn't want to manage anybody, didn't want to,
create anything for somebody new. She just wanted
to do
Yeah.
what she's good at, and that's why she changed. Like, I even think she couldn't do my mom's hair anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because my mom always just get it like lightly colored and cut, and she's like, I don't want to cut. Like, we're just doing like, because I think you make more money coloring,
Sure.
and I think it
It
was
takes
just,
longer and
yeah, like cutting
yeah.
takes longer, and then it's like already you don't want to hang out for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh yeah.
but she wants clients to hang out for 4 hours. Like, if you don't get a certain, I mean, she can do whatever she wants. But then that's why I'm fortunate enough just to slip in there for like 20 minutes, if not longer, to hang out with her husband or something. And
Well, I got to where I couldn't stand up because of my foot. I couldn't stand in the shower and wash my hair.
okay,
So I had my daughter-in-law come over, and she said, "Let me wash it." And so she said, "You're in the sink."
fascinating.
Huh?
I get you. You're like, you went on Facebook Marketplace and found that chair, the washing hair chair.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No, but she said, if you just get a chair high enough, I'll just do it in the sink, and you just lay your head back on the sink.
Yeah.
It was
You didn't go outside with a gardening
Yes.
hose and just get hosed down.
that's how Sam would do it when I've had operations or stuff like that. You know, that he would wash my hair with the garden hose. We had 5 acres, so it wasn't a big deal. I mean, I wasn't nude or anything, but he would wash it and use that. And
I like it.
and do that. It was.
And
it
then
was,
the dog
it
was
great.
next.
Huh?
And the dog was next.
And the dog, yes. No, but anyway, she had to do it. And then I just hate to go to a salon and have them just wash my hair, but they'll do it. They'll just wash your hair for like $5 or $10 or something like that. But
I think my favorite new place that I saw is like doggy bath places. Have you seen this before?
no, but
But you can bathe your own dog.
you bathe your own
Yeah,
dog?
so they'll have the service there for they'll bathe your dog and do all the cool stuff.
Or you can do it?
Or they have like a side where you'll just do it. And
Oh,
I always
yeah.
laugh about that. It's like it's pretty funny that somehow there's a market for that. Like, why couldn't you just do this? But unless you like live in an apartment,
No,
totally
because
understand.
here's the reason why. Because of the hair that they leave, you know.
Oh, yeah.
'cause Cindy tries to, she does wash Maddie in my shower, and so and it's just, you know, the hair is horrible when she washes it. So I can see why somebody would want to use
Like when
somebody
we had
else's.
when I was in an apartment with the dog, I'd have a whole attachment for the shower, and we put a sink catcher
Yeah.
in there, and then we'd handle it all right there. I mean, it was a process, but we handled it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad for you that you have a process for everything, don't you?
Yeah.
So, so anyway, you never lie to anybody. You always tell them the truth,
I
right?
try.
Okay. Because you know God
'Cause
hates a
most
liar.
most of the time I lie, it's just to have some fun,
Well,
to mess with somebody. It's like, let's see if we can get them.
but God hates a liar, and that's to scare you. It should scare you when
Good
it
thing
says
I
that
can
in the
do my
Bible.
Hail Marys and ask for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do get
Yeah,
second
so-
chances with God. Yeah, that's right. But lying is so hard not to do, especially when you're in this kind of business where you're meeting a lot of different people,
Yeah.
and you want to tell them, like what they want to hear, and you want to make them feel good about themselves and all that. And
I mean, I tell people I'm the best bowler in Montgomery County.
do they laugh?
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
was that considered a lie?
Well, of course.
clearly I'm not. But I'm.
But not to you. It's in your own mind. You
Yeah.
consider yourself that. So it's not a lie to you. But when you say it out loud, it may be that may
I
be.
love that's my thing. I just love
mis-
telling people that. They're like, I'm Dick. I'm the best bowler in Montgomery County, and then I throw like a 130. I mean, even the best have their off days.
Well, now, do you go to work tonight?
Yeah.
And you have to work with Armando and just
Armando
a
comes
little
on
bit.
next, and then
Yeah.
I go to the bowling alley. I'll get home around 11:30.
okay. Poor thing. So, but Armando.
I mean, it's always enjoyable working there, though. You get to encounter people, and
they all love you.
yeah, people at the alley do certainly. But then
Yeah.
there's always like the summertime's the worst because I actually deal with the public,
Mm.
and then it's just
Oh, because it's not just the older ladies that come
Yeah.
up and go, I love your smile. When you smile, you just make me feel so
Yeah.
good.
that's tomorrow morning when I do the seniors. And
That's tomorrow when
yeah,
you do
it's
the
tomorrow morning.
seniors.
Yeah,
That is so cute.
that is probably if you have a young child that needs customer service training
Mm-hmm.
or any type of just force them to hang out with old people and do a task for them. Like it could be anything because like I host it, I run it, I talk to them the whole time, I fix the lanes for them, I do all that stuff, and you'll get some wild curveballs from them, and it's just it's very humbling hanging out with them. That's for sure.
It is.
Oh yeah. Well, because also you can the probably the biggest perspective I've got from it is the typical old grouch.
Yeah.
But I also met old folks who were just genuinely happy.
Right.
And
Like
it's like,
me.
well, yes. And it's just like, and it gives me hope. I'm like, oh, so some people are just buttheads
Yeah.
in life. But even the buttheads now have grown on me, and I throw it right back at them. I'm like,
Oh,
"Yeah," I
good.
go, you're not allowed to treat me this way.
Right.
And then they
That's
usually
right.
apologize afterwards or whatever. And I just tell them to do better.
Yeah.
You know,
That's-
that's what I love telling people. Do better.
Yeah. See.
You're 92. You're almost you're 1 foot's out the door, but you can still do better.
You're 92. And boy, being 92.
Well, not even that. It's like it's like it gives you a nice perspective of like these guys are from their 60s all the way. I think the oldest bowler we have, I want to say, is like in his mid 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just they're all, some of them are single looking for love, and some of them are happily married, and then some of them just want to get away from their significant other. They just want to bowl.
So you've never
And-
told them about me? You didn't.
Well, you don't come up.
Didn't
You can
say.
easily come up there.
What?
I would not acknowledge you. I'd
You
be
would-
like, I don't know this crazy woman.
You would not.
No, my favorite recent one was
No.
I got so I meet a lot of people when I'm bowling, and there was a couple older gentlemen. They just kind of started hanging out, probably in their 70s, and they would come up when I was bowling, and I could see that they're having a good time and they're buddies. And so I went over there and I was like, hey guys, just to let you guys know, we have a seniors thing, and it's inexpensive, and it's just a fun hangout. Well, they came a couple times.
Yeah.
And then I saw one of them recently, and I was like, hey, man, I haven't seen you on Wednesdays. Where you been? And he's like, oh, there's too clicky for me.
It's too
It's
clicky.
too clicky, too groupy. They won't let
Oh.
me sit anywhere. And I'm like, who cares? Like, just, because it really is. Like, some of them are like, well, refuse for let people sit there. Like one of my favorite ones, like, this is how older people get stuck in their ways. So they bowl on 2 lanes for league style, right?
Uh huh.
Well, one time they come in, that lane their particular
Yeah.
lane was broken.
Uh-oh.
So they had to bowl on the next lane. But they still sat in the area of the broken lane. And
Oh.
it was one of the funniest things was like, at that time, one of the mechanics, what I love about Wednesday mornings, when the head mechanics comes in, because he's just a very knowledgeable older gentleman, so he teaches me a lot back there. And he fixed the lanes, so we were going to move another pair over, and so I had to go over there. I'm like, hey, you guys got to move over because you're bowling on this other lane. You're sitting over here. You can't be sitting here. And I'm telling you, all of them got so pissed off.
That's their lane.
And I'm sitting there going like, what
Stay
are
in
y'all?
your lane.
What are you talking about, guys? Like, you're not bowling on this lane. But these are my chairs. This is where I sit. And I'm like, you have to walk all over there. It's one of the I was sitting there. It was like, my mind was blown. I was like, all right, they're gonna be pissed off, but we're putting people here.
No
So,
place is worse than church and where you sit in church.
Yeah,
And we have
I never had that problem though.
the back 2 rows, and where we would fill up. And so if you didn't get there at the right time, other people would sit there, and you can't call them out and say, excuse me, this is reserved. But you see why a long time ago you would buy the pew that you're going to sit,
Well, I mean,
your family sits in.
I mean, I definitely have those things in my life where I like to sit at certain places. But then again, I'm not gonna throw a fit.
Right.
Because I was not expecting these folks to throw a fit. I'm like, they're not even bowling on this lane. They're just sitting down, and no one's over there, so they can easily sit by their lane. And I was so confused, and I was like, what is going on with you guys today? But Sunday morning, I would tell any young adult, I was like, if you want to get some training or get some perspective, work with seniors and just
that's a very good
and
idea.
any type of occupation, just work with volunteer or whatever. You'll get some really good. I get hit on all the time, and it's great, and I love that. It makes me feel good about myself.
I think that is so great.
I also
Those
get degraded all the time. It's great.
Well, whenever I start my Widow's Mite club, then that's where I would know to go to get people to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's
the only downside I say to it is I get worried when some people don't show up for a couple weeks.
Oh, you need to do a well test.
Yeah.
Oh, there. That's awful.
Yeah. And then like my favorite is like there's one guy in particular. His name's JR. Great dude. He had hip surgery, or he had some type of surgery. So when he comes, he always brings his wife so she can bowl. And then like 3 weeks later, he's like, all right, just to let you know, I'm going to try to bowl today. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I can't slide. I can't do any of like the mechanics, so I'm just going to throw it. I'm like, okay. And I watched him. I caught me that in my eye. He's like all the way back towards where the ball return is, and just throws the ball.
Just throws it.
Just throws it.
Bam.
And I was like, okay, if this guy falls, so I made a joke to him. I was like, the way you're bowling, I'm not picking you up if you fall. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
But no, he's doing it. I mean, he's doing it a safe way. But
yeah, I know. But again, it's just, it was wild.
But isn't it bad for the alley?
Probably. But I mean, he was throwing that thing. Like, if people don't know what I'm talking about, there's like a foul line.
Yeah.
He was, I would say 5 feet back from that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably at 5 or 6 feet, and just throwing the ball. And
was he hitting stuff?
No, not really. But yeah, I was sitting there going like, this guy.
You should. Don't y'all have the slide thing?
Yeah.
You should have set it up for him so he could start.
Well, I guess that's something like especially with conversations with older people, I always have the stubbornness in them. Because especially ones who are injured, there's this particular guy named Joel. I forgot what he had. He had some neuro problem where he'd shake. And he would bowl with a cane. So he'd go up there with the cane, stop, put the cane to his hip, and throw, and then get the cane and walk back. And I'm like, so there's a guy who understands his limitations.
Right.
And he's having fun.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I'm trying to convince my dad or somebody to use a cane, I'm like, look, I don't understand. You can live a fun life with some help from a cane or knowing your limits.
Well, my limbs are.
I'm not talking about you. You
No,
can do whatever you want. I don't care.
I know.
I've seen you
Shut up.
fall, and I didn't help you, so we've already established that.
No, but I'm too
I still
not
can't.
awkward. I will.
Yeah.
You try and use a cane, but it doesn't work with me, because I either lean into the cane or the cane.
Well, I think it takes practice. You gotta adjust.
The walker is fine. I
Yeah.
mean, that's fine.
That's even better. Do you put the tennis balls on it?
And then you turn around and sit down on it, and
Yeah.
and so that was fine. But I'm now I can't. I'm not supposed to be. I'm supposed to be walking and
Just normal.
just normal.
Yeah.
And I still have the problem, but I'm supposed to be walking normal on it, and so I've been practicing that, so and not get. You do get so quickly addicted to that, having that, and feeling like I'll fall over if I don't have this, and that's not true. So I'm practicing walking again. I know my cardiologist is going to send me to rehab when he finds out. He's going to say you need to go back to rehab and
You'll
let
figure
them
it out.
let them deal with you. But rehab was fun. I liked going to rehab.
Yeah, you get to talk to somebody, and you get to tell them your whole story.
Hey, have you heard the one about?
Yeah.
No, that's terrible. My kids even said, Grandma, why don't you write a book and write all the stories down that you tell us all the time, and just so we can have those and we can pass it down to, the things that you did. And I said, I should have started that when I was like 30, but because now I can't remember everything that
Whatever.
I did. And I know you don't care. Sometimes,
Well, you have the Cindy Cochran show. You have like 8 years of that. It's all available on YouTube,
yeah,
so they can just go to that.
Sam is available on YouTube.
Yeah.
My husband is. I'm so glad I brought him in
Me too.
on those times,
Great guy.
and so that we had.
I told you what scared me the most about him is he and I are kindred spirits, and how he
Yes.
deals with the world, and
Yes,
how
yes.
like his total viewpoint of everything.
Yes,
I'm like,
you are.
I'm too much like this guy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because all my friends call me an old man. Because
Right.
I wear a cardigan in the house.
Oh, do you really?
Oh yeah, because I'm like naturally cold all the time, so I always bring it whenever I go anywhere. I have a cardigan, and then I'm pretty
That's so
particular about my
fun.
food and what we're doing, and like if we go anywhere, I gotta know how many exits there are. It's like, where's the bathroom? If we're sitting somewhere, is it close to the bathroom?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, you and I have kindred spirits.
Because that's my favorite thing is like when I walk into a restaurant, I go, hey, where's the restroom? It's like, oh, it's right there. I'm like, thank you. And I'm walking the other way. Like, no, sir, it's over there. I'm like, no, I just need to know where the restroom is.
Yeah,
Just- and I always like that interaction with the hostess or whatever.
I just want to know
It's
where
like,
it
it's
is,
like, no, it's over here, sir. I know. Oh, I know.
and make a big deal of it. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
No, that's everything's like that. And now that Chad is he was having to treat me like, this is it. I'm going to have to push my mom around in a wheelchair, and she needs to be put in a home because she can't be by herself. She's going to fall, and a fall risk and all that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that happened this weekend. I got a phone call about my grandmother. And basically they're like, oh, she's being put under hospice care. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, that's
What?
fast. So I went over there that day in Houston, and I could hear her talking, and she's moving around with her walker. I'm like, what did I not understand what's happening here? Like,
Hospice means
that's what I thought.
That's your last level.
I don't know. I kind of gave my dad crap about that. I was like, I don't understand. I don't know if this is your scare tactic to get me to see her. I was already going to see her that weekend, ironically. And it was just one of those funny things. And I'm sitting there going like, but then again, she's 94. And it's like, there it is. It's like, but then again, when my grandfather passed, I always kind of slowly accepted that she's going to go.
Yeah.
Because usually when you lose, I'm not trying to make pressure on you.
Yes.
But that's usually what happens when you lose someone. But you're doing a great job by hanging out with me.
Yes. You
And-
keep me young. So that's what I need.
All the girls tell me that.
You,
Especially when they find out I'm 39. They're like, what? You act like you're like in your 20s.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I think that's a compliment. At least it's not like 16. Right.
No. That's why you grew the beard and stuff, so you look older. And
No, it's just because I'm lazy.
Because you're too lazy to shave. Yeah.
No, I just like I like it because only certain people will come up and talk to me now.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Okay, tell me who is that cut out of the lineup that comes
I
up
don't know.
and
I'm
talks
just
to you?
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Because your stories,
I don't know. They're great, and it's.
I wish we could start the show. I wish I knew what to push, and you push, and start the show at least 10 minutes early, and then let people hear the conversation the conversations we have. Probably.
So we got to be wrapping up pretty soon. But this weekend we had a birthday party for one of my good friends, and he did it at a bar that's like a restaurant bar for dogs. For dogs, so like they have a dog park for all sizes of dogs. It's a really cool place.
The girls.
My favorite one was the girl or his fiance came up to me and was like, "Hey, you're gonna meet my friend. She's really great. I think y'all hit it off. You know, da da da." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not really here to pick up chicks, but I'll talk to her. You just point her out and I'll talk to her." Well, she points to her and she has a giant mastiff. Like at least 200 pounds, at least, like just giant.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sitting there going like, that's insane. I got to talk to her just so I could talk to the dog.
Yeah,
and
sure.
The dog's name was Pearl, and she was, I mean, it was the funniest conversation.
So you go to this place and you pick up a dog at the dog bar. That is just, that's amazing.
Well, the favorite conversation with her, because she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this thing after this because I'm not gonna be able, but you want to come with me? We're going to this concert." And I go, "When you say we, do you mean the Mastiff? Like, you're trucking that thing around all day, all night?"
What'd you say?
It's just like, well, that's a good point. Like, I might drop her off, or I was like, all right, that's so funny. That dog was so big.
Well, was she friend? I mean, she wasn't like trying to protect the girl, right? She wasn't trying to be protective of the girl at all.
It's a sweet dog.
Sweet dog.
I'm also, I'm not that threatening.
Right, you're right.
But it was just really funny.
I'm sure when you first meet somebody, you're on your best behavior.
No. At that moment, I was not. I was having a great time at that moment. So.
Were you making fun of the fact? I said, I'm not here to talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hit on you. I'd like to talk to your dog.
I did actually. I used that line one time.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I was in line. It was what I love. It's like when you go out with buddies. And I was in Austin, and we're at a brewery, and this line's pretty long. And I saw this dog, and I started petting it, and I'm like, and the owner had a leash. It was like one of those long leashes. And I'm just talking to the dog. I'm like, "Aren't you just the sweetest thing? Like, what's your name? What's going on?" And the girl comes over, and she's just watching me. And I look up at her, and I go, "I'm trying to talk to you, right?" And she's like, "What?" I was like, "I was asking you those questions."
So,
and she thought when I was talking to the dog.
You're talking to the dog?
Yeah, I was like, "You're so cute."
Oh.
It was the corniest thing ever. She had a good laugh. What I love about it is we get up to her, and I offer to get her a drink, and she goes, "Oh, no, thank you. My husband's here." And I'm like, "You could have just told me that."
Yeah, back then.
Yeah, because that line was long. So we chatted for like 5-10 minutes, and then it was so funny. And then when I sat down with my buddies, I'm like, "Hey, I'm just letting you know there's probably a guy going to come over here and be like, 'Who's the guy who pet my dog?'" And I'm like, "Just letting y'all guys know."
Are you talking about your wife or you? Okay,
No.
I just want to make sure who you're
so
talking
that
about.
would be a good joke. But you're going to be here on Thursday. Hopefully we're going to have a guest.
Yes.
I'm going to try to lock them down.
Yes.
You won't be here tomorrow.
I won't be here tomorrow. I have to go to the doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
So hopefully my last one. I'm so sick of that. But anyway, I can at least walk better, more normal now. And God has been very good. He's taught me, Cindy, when you think something's wrong, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Don't sit and try and take care of it yourself. Don't do that. Don't.
Okay.
Okay, first responders, I want to say bye and thank you so much for everything that you do. We appreciate you and yay. USA.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process of helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this